आज हाम्रो लेट मेजर जिसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङ हाम्रो तमु कल्चर फोरम युकेको बोर्ड अफ काउन्सिल चेयरम्यान हुनुहुन्थ्यो, साथै फाउन्डर मेम्बर र हामी मिलेर नै तमु कल्चर फोरम युके इस्टाब्लिस गरेको हो। र अफसोसको कुरा आज उहाँ हामीबाट बिदा लिएर उहाँको अन्तिम अन्त्येष्टि कार्यक्रमको लागि आज हामी उपस्थित भएको छौँ र हाम्रो तमु फोरमको तर्फबाट सम्पूर्ण मेम्बरको अनि हाम्रो बोर्ड मेम्बरको तर्फबाट हामीले एउटा सानो डिस साहबको सम्झनामा आज हामी चलाउन गइरहेको छु। त्यसले गर्दा म एउटा प्रोजेक्ट डाइरेक्टरको हैसियतले र हाम्रो एक्जिक्युटिभ कमिटी र सम्पूर्ण बोर्ड मेम्बरको तर्फबाट साहबलाई हार्दिक समावेदन अनि श्रद्धाञ्जली टक्राउन चाहन्छु। आशा छ रेस्ट इन पिस इन हेभन एलबी साहब, थ्याङ्क यू। लाइन अप भइसक्यो
तपाईहरु चाहिँ नि दायाँ बायाँ यो बाटोको दायाँ बायाँ उभिदिनु भयो भने चाहिँ सजिलो हुन्छ यसको लागि।
Great to see you.
You too. You're right.
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
You're enjoying retirement.
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah. But I don't do any fishing.
You should do. You should do.
Thank you sir, thank you.
नमस्कार, मेरो नाम ग्यारी घले। म चाहिँ हाम्रो स्वर्गीय लालबहादुर गुरुङ दाइलाई चाहिँ मेरो आफ्नै दाइ जस्तो ठान्छु, किनभने हामी सँगै स्कुलमा पढेको अनि सँगै स्कुलबाट हामीहरू उहाँ मभन्दा सिनियर भए तापनि उहाँ चाहिँ हामी सँगै स्कुलमा पढेर पछि त्यहीँबाट पास भएपछि उहाँ चाहिँ अब पहिले भर्ती हुनुभयो, म चाहिँ पछि भएँ। तर हामी चाहिँ सधैँ नेपाल कपमा र अरू भेटघाटहरूमा सधैँ भेट्थ्यौँ र मैले चाहिँ उहाँलाई मेरो एकदमै दाइ जस्तै लाग्थ्यो। उहाँ आज बितेर हामीलाई छोडेर जानु भएपछि हामीलाई चाहिँ साह्रै अफसोस लागेको छ। हाम्रो मुटु सबै एकदमै भारी छ उहाँ गएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि। आज हामी उहाँको यो फ्युनरलमा आएका छौँ, धेरै मान्छेहरू पनि आएका छौँ र उहाँ गए तापनि उहाँलाई हामी कहिले बिर्सिने छैन। उहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो मुटुको ठिक्क छेउमा चाहिँ सधैँ बसिरहनेछ। लो लाल दाई, आज बिदा गर्दैछौँ, स्वीकार गरिदिनु होला। धन्यवाद।
हामी रामबजार सोसाइटीको भलिन्टियर हो हामी ट्राफिक स्वर्गीय लालबहादुर गुरुङको अन्त्येष्टि कार्यक्रममा पाल्नुभएका सम्पूर्ण महानुभावहरूलाई म परिवारजनको तर्फबाट आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। यसै सिलसिलामा उहाँ मृतकको आत्माले चिर शान्ति मिलोस् र परिवारजनहरूलाई यस दुःखद घडीमा धैर्य धारण गर्ने शक्ति मिलोस् भन्न चाहन्छु। यहाँनिर कार्यक्रम सुरु हुनुभन्दा पहिला यहाँलाई सेफ्टीको विषयमा 1-2 कुरा भन्न चाहे। सर्वप्रथम म अब यहाँहरूलाई थाहा भएको कुरा हो, आज मौसम पानी देखाएको छ, तर अहिलेसम्म भाग्यवश राम्रै भइरहेको छ। सो आशा छ यस प्रकारले नै बस्छ होला जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ, आशा गर्दछु। आशा छ यहाँहरू वेदरको लागि पनि प्रिपेयर भएर आउनु भएको छ होला भन्दै अब यहाँनिर दोस्रो कुरा के छ भनेदेखिलाई दायाँ बायाँ तपाईँहरूले चाहिँ ग्रेप्सहरू देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ। यहाँले चाहिँ कृपया गरेर अलिकति ग्रेपमाथि चाहिँ नकुल्चिनु हुन म विनम्र अनुरोध गर्दछु। हामी यहाँ झन्डै 1-2 घन्टा चाहिँ यहाँ बस्छौँ। यस बेलामा यस अवधिभित्र कसैलाई एकदमै फिलिङ अनवेल अथवा चाहिँ अस्वस्थ महसुस भएको छ भने कृपया गरेर चाहिँ हामीलाई खबर गर्नुहोला। हाम्रो यहाँ फर्स्ट एडर पनि हुनुहुन्छ। यति भन्दै अब आजको कार्यक्रमको विषयमा म यहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ जानकारी दिन चाहन्छु। कार्यक्रमको सुरुवात 2 मिनट मौन धारणबाट हुन्छ र यसमा सिग्नल पाइपरको साथमा हुन्छ स्टार्ट, अनि पाइपर प्ले गरिसकेको अन्तमा त्यो चाहिँ मौन धारणको अन्त हो भनेर चाहिँ यहाँले थाहा पाउनुहुनेछ।
स्वर्गीय मेजर जेसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङको आज यो अन्तिम रेस्पेक्ट कार्यक्रममा अब हामी सबै प्रोग्रामहरू अघि नै तपाईँहरूले जानकारी भइसक्यो। अब हामी सबै उहाँको लागि 2 मिनटको लागि पाइप ब्यान्डको साथमा हामी सबै उभिएर उहाँको लागि मौन धारण कार्यक्रम गर्न गइरहेका छौँ। पाइप ब्यान्ड प्लिज क्यारी अन। लालबहादुर गुरुङको छोट करीमा बायोग्राफी या उहाँको जीवन कहानीको बारेमा बताउन गइरहेको छु। स्वर्गीय मेजर जेसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङ कास्की जिल्ला मादी गाउँपालिका वडा नम्बर 1 खिलाङ गाउँमा स्वर्गीय बाजे चन्द्रसिंह गुरुङ र स्वर्गीय बजै धनश्री गुरुङको कोखबाट 14 सेप्टेम्बर 1952 मा जन्मिनु भएको थियो। उहाँको 3 दाजुभाइ र 3 दिदीबहिनी हुनुहुन्थ्यो। 3 दाजुभाइ में से उहाँ सबैभन्दा कान्छा भाइ हुनुहुन्थ्यो, जो कि उहाँले 13 वर्षको उमेरमा मात्र खिलाङ गाउँमा आफ्नो बाल्यकालको अवस्था गुजार्नु भएको थियो। 13 वर्षपछि स्वर्गीय मेजर जेसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङ फर्दर एजुकेसनको लागि काठमाडौँ आउनुभयो। काठमाडौँ आएपछि उहाँले सेन्ट जोभिस स्कुलमा, गोदाबारीको सेन्ट जोभिस स्कुलमा आफ्नो पढाइ सुरु गर्नुभयो। पढाइ सुरु गर्नको साथसाथै उहाँ ग्रोइङ अप हुनुभयो, यङ हुनुभयो, ठिटो हुनुभयो र भर्ती हुने सिलसिलामा उहाँ ब्रिटिस आर्मीमा जोइन भयो। उहाँ 1970 मा 18 वर्षको उमेरमा ब्रिटिस आर्मीमा जोइन हुनुभयो। ब्रिटिस आर्मीमा भर्ती भएपछि उहाँले आफ्नो रेगुलर ट्रेनिङ पुरा गरेर फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड जियरमा पोस्टिङ हुनुभयो। फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड जियरमा पोस्टिङ भएपछि मेजर स्वर्गीय लालबहादुर गुरुङको डेडिकेसन, मेहनत, अनुशासन हार्डवर्कले गर्दा उहाँले फौजमा अव्वल तहको र्याङ्क मेजर अफिसर र्याङ्कसम्म ल्याउन सफल भयो। त्यसपछि उहाँले ब्रिटिस आर्मीको लामो सर्भिसपछि 28 वर्ष सर्भिस गरेर मेरो कान्छा बाबा ब्रिटिस आर्मीबाट रिटायर हुनुभयो। रिटायर भएर उहाँ आफ्नो फ्यामिलीको साथमा बेलायतको फार्ममा साधारण जीवन बिताइरहनु भएको थियो। स्वर्गीय मेजर जिसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङको विवाह वैवाहिक जीवन भन्नुपर्दा उहाँको विवाह मिसेस दिलमाया गुरुङसँग भएको थियो। विवाह भएपछि उहाँबाट 3 छोरीहरू जन्मिनुभयो, जो छोरीहरू सबै आफ्नो काम र कर्ममा लागिसक्नु भएको छ। सामाजिक सेवा, उहाँ एउटा समाजसेवी हुनुहुन्थ्यो। उहाँ खेलाङ गुरुङ समाजको प्रमुख सल्लाहकार हुनुहुन्थ्यो। साथै उहाँले तमुदी युकेमा पनि पूर्व अध्यक्ष हुनुहुन्थ्यो र हालै उहाँले तमुदी युकेमा लामो समयसम्म ट्रस्टीको रूपमा आएर काम गर्दै आउनुभएको थियो। उहाँ सिमोर साथीको पनि फाउन्डर हुनुहुन्थ्यो। नभइकन हजुरहरूलाई म यो जानकारी पनि गराउन चाहन्छु कि उहाँको नेतृत्वमा, उहाँको लिडरसिपमा, उहाँको कार्यकालमा नै तमुदी युकेको भवन लिन सफल भएको थियो, जो कि उहाँ भवनलाई अहिले हामी सम्पूर्ण गाउँलेहरू बर्थडे पार्टी मनाउँदै, गाउँले पार्टी मनाउँदै, सानो तहबीय कोही आफ्नै भवन सम्झेर मनाउँदै आइरहेको छ। स्पोर्ट्स, उहाँ एउटा एकदम स्पोर्ट्स हुनुहुन्थ्यो। फुटबल उहाँको फेभरेट गेम हुनुहुन्थ्यो र उहाँले त्यो बेला नेपाल कपमा पार्टिसिपेसन गरेर धेरै फुटबल र गेम खेलेर फुटबल जित्नु भएको थियो। इलनेस, अस्वस्थ हुनको कारण स्वर्गीय मेजर जेसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङ आफ्नो उपचारको क्रममा गएर 29 अप्रिल वेडनेसडेको दिन रातको 9:40 जाँदाखेरि हामी सबैलाई छोडेर जानुभयो। उहाँ 76 वर्षको उमेरमा यो संसारबाट बिदा लिएर जानुभयो। उहाँ हाम्रो सामु रहेन। उहाँ हाम्रो सामु नरहे तापनि मेरो कान्छा बाबा जहाँ भए पनि, जहाँ रहे पनि एकदम पिसफुल साथ रहन्, स्वर्गमा बास हुन्, भगवान बुद्धको पास बास हुन् भनेर हामी सबै यहाँ उहाँप्रति फेरि पनि एकचोटि हार्दिक श्रद्धाञ्जली अर्पण गर्न चाहन्छु।
Dilmaya, ladies, namaste. Malay maftunu partsa boro bayakule mero kaskora paila banda uti sare ranwo China cheskaranli mo angreji kora bonu partsa maftinus. Can you hear? Yeah, you held it. Many of us here were fortunate to have served alongside and with Lal Bahadur. I was especially lucky to have him as my OCC company when I was in command of the regiment during a time of merger and amalgamation. He was everything a regimental officer should be: loyal to those he served, caring for those under his command, an astute tactician and a determined and hard-working officer who always put his men first. But above all, he was the provider to me of sound advice. It was obvious that LB should serve as a second Gurkha, as you've just heard. The records show that he was born on Delhi Day in 1952. He was recruited into the brigade on Delhi Day in 1970. He joined the 1st Battalion in May 1970 as a young rifleman. And over the next 24 years, he made a remarkable contribution to the regiment, rising through the ranks until he was commissioned as QGO in October '84. You've already heard his prowess on the football field as a member of the battalion's Nepal Cup team. It was as a QGO that LB really began to realize his potential, with appointments not just within the regiment, but also the wider army. service in Germany as a young QGO with the British Infantry Regiment, further service at the British Army training team in Canada as a safety officer, and a series of demanding courses outside the brigade. As a senior regimental officer, he was involved in an intensive program of overseas exercises, Canada, Thailand, Belize, New Zealand, and filled a wide variety of appointments. He was commissioned as GCO in May 90, and I was fortunate that during my time in command, he was my OCC company until the disbandment of the regiment. I could not have been better served, and I know that he especially enjoyed his role as camp commandant in Belize in February 1994, when we were visited by Her Majesty the Queen. But it was as a man that LB made his greatest contribution to all of us here. He had immense integrity, a steely determination. He was selfless, dependable, someone who could be relied on at the darkest of times. He knew instinctively what was right. He was the very best example of what an officer in the regiment should be. But I wonder if his greatest contribution to the 2nd Gurkhas is not here today, right in front of us, this remarkable assembly of the Sirmor Satis. As we've heard, LB was a founding member and a chairman who established this remarkable association. This is an enduring legacy, and it is right that we come together as a body today to salute him. Dilmaya. In remembering LB, I am conscious that you have lost a husband and your daughters have lost a father. You are married to this remarkable man for over 50 years, and I am conscious that his death will be unbearable. Please take comfort in the knowledge that you are married to someone who was very special and a fine regimental officer. We are all here to help you through these dark days. And please be assured that our thoughts will be with you and your 3 daughters. Above all, our thoughts will be of LB and the times we all had together, the good bits and the not so good bits. He has left us a remarkable legacy. Jai Sirmor Rifles, Jai LB.
मेजर जेसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङ अहुमप्रति हार्दिक श्रद्धाञ्जली चढाउन चाहन्छु। हाम्रो भेटघाट र जमघट समय र परिस्थिति अनुसार फरक फरक हुन्छ। कुनै मिलनको कुनै बिछोडको जमघट नमिठो र नरमाइलो हुन्छ। हामी भन्ने गर्छौँ यस्तो दुःखको भेटघाट कहिले पनि नहोस्, तर सत्य यो हो, मान्छे भएर जन्मेपछि एक दिन मर्नुपर्छ। मरण सबैभन्दा नमिठो र नरमाइलो शब्द हो। शत्रुहरूलाई पनि यस्तो अप्रिय शब्दले सम्बोधन गर्न नपरोस्। तर विडम्बना आज त्यही नमिठो र अप्रिय कार्यक्रममा हामी भेला भइरहेका छौँ। मेजर जिसिओ लालबहादुर गुरुङ तमुदी युकेको पूर्व अध्यक्ष हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँको जन्म 1950 मा कास्की जिल्लाको चिउली पार्चे हालको मादी गाउँपालिकाको खिलाङमा भएको हो। खिलाङ गाउँमा अन्नपूर्ण हिमालय 7992 को काखमा अवस्थित छ। 13 वर्षको उमेरसम्म उहाँले बाहिर संसार देखेको थिएनन्। संयोगवश उहाँले नेपालको सबैभन्दा राम्रो विद्यालय शिक्षा हासिल गर्न अवसर पाउनुभयो। सेन्ट जेभियर्स स्कुलबाट अध्ययन पुरा गरी उहाँ 1970 मा ब्रिटिस सेनामा भर्ती हुनुभयो। पल्टनको सबल र कुशल जवानको हैसियतले पल्टनमा आफ्नो छवि बनाउनु भयो। फलस्वरूप सेनाको उच्च पद मेजर जेसिओ सेवा निवृत्त हुनुभयो। पल्टनमा हुँदै उहाँले धेरै परोपकारी सामाजिक कार्यहरू गर्नुभएको थियो। मर्दा पर्दा सहयोग गर्ने, गोर्खा कपको लागि खेल मैदान उपलब्ध गर्ने काममा सहयोग गर्नुभयो। 2007 सालमा तमुदी युकेको अध्यक्षता भएपछि उहाँले धेरै महत्त्वपूर्ण कामहरू गर्नुभएको थियो। संस्थालाई च्यारिटी कमिसनमा दर्ता गर्ने, गोर्खा कपलाई संस्थागत गर्ने र तमुदी युकेको भवन खरिद गर्ने जस्तो महत्त्वपूर्ण काम उहाँकै पालामा भएको अविस्मरणीय कामहरू हुन्, जुन कुरा तमुदी युकेले को इतिहासमा अभिलेखीकरण भइसकेको छ। उहाँ सरल, सहयोगी, मिजासिलो हुनुहुन्थ्यो। समाज परिवर्तनको सवालमा उहाँको महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका रहेको छ। तमुदी युकेले एउटा कुशल अभिभावकलाई गुमाएका छौँ। यस्तो दुःखको समय फेरि फेरि नआओस्। उहाँको मृत आत्मालाई चिर शान्तिको कामना गर्दछु। देवकोलमा हाम्रो पितृहरूसँग लिनुहोस्। हार्दिक श्रद्धाञ्जली अर्पण गर्दछु। यस्तो दुःखको घडीमा शोक सन्तप्त परिवार, दिलमाया दिदीलाई, जेठी छोरी लिना, माइली छोरी डिना र कान्छी छोरी तिर्जनालाई यो दुःख समयमा शक्तिमा बदल्ने शक्ति प्राप्त होस् भन्ने भगवानसँग प्रार्थना गर्दछु। हार्दिक समवेदना व्यक्त गर्दछु। हार्दिक श्रद्धा सुमन। ओम मने पेदमे ओम आउमो हजुर स्वर्गमा बास होस्। थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच।
First of all, I want to thank you all for being here today to honor the life of LB and share some memories about the many ways he enriched our lives. I'd known him for more than 53 years. As young riflemen, we were in the same company in 1st, 2nd Gurkha Rifles. He was a couple of intakes senior to me, but as soon as we met for the very first time, we established a good rapport and a strong bond of friendship that had endured for a lifetime. He had many endearing qualities. He was a decent, engaging, caring, and loving family man. Very straightforward, no chakapanja. If laughter is a form of love, he gave it in abundance. That roaring laughter of his, and he had a knack of saying the wrong thing at exactly the right time to make everyone laugh, including himself. What made him a true friend wasn't just his sense of humor, it was his loyalty, his camaraderie, and enthusiasm for life. He loved having a good time, and he showed us that life should be fun. If you saw him with a red silk handkerchief in his breast pocket, like this, and if there was music playing, it didn't take long before he embarked on his signature handkerchief dance. He didn't care how well or badly he danced, he would be in his element and just wanted to have fun. He was also good at multitasking. As a devoted grandfather, he could often be seen rocking a baby bouncer with one of his legs, whilst reading a newspaper and talking on the phone all at the same time. Apart from football, his other love was boxing. Let me give you an anecdote. After a beer-baji football in Brunei, we were walking back to our barracks when a hefty local man who was on a push bike brushed against LB without ringing his bell. Altercation ensued. In a flash, LB landed an uppercut on this person's jaw and sent him flying into a ditch. We later found out that person was a local gunda, but he never bothered LB or us ever again. In one of his last messages to me, he said he was an incredibly lucky man to have such a caring, loving, and devoted wife in Dilmaya Baini, who will provide constant bedside care. He was very proud of the fact that she was a nurse. Although LB is no longer with us physically, the impact of his friendship will forever resonate in our lives, and his spirit lives on in memory and in laughter. He will be sorely missed. Rest in peace, my friend.
उहाँको माइतीको तर्फबाट उहाँको जेठशाला भीम गुरुङले
स्वर्गीय मेजर जिसियो लालबहादुर गुरुङको म जेठशाला मेरो दिदी दिलमाया सबैले एकछिन धैर्य धारण गरी सुनिदिनुहोस् है। हाम्रो समाज त्यति बेलासम्म जीवन्त रहन्छ जति बेलासम्म हामीले समाजलाई, संस्कृतिलाई, रीतिरिवाजलाई, परम्परालाई, इतिहासलाई सम्मान गर्छौं। त्यसैले आज मेरो भेनाज्यू, हाम्रो अभिभावकज्यू हुन त तपाईले के नजानेर यो धरती छोडेर जाने, अनन्तको बाटो जानै पर्यो माथि। भेनाज्यू भेटौँला सँगै नै अर्को जुनीमा फेरि माथि। सम्मानको साथ गुड बाई मेरो भेनाज्यू, गुड बाई।
Here today to remember and honor my wonderful Baba, Dad. I am his eldest daughter, Tulachori Lina, the boy from Kilang. Kilang perched approximately 4,000 meters above sea level at the foot of Annapurna II, and in the 1960s, the village was untouched by civilization. What it lacked in modern comforts and material things, it made up for in beauty of the landscape. It was an idyllic existence. In this remote corner of the Himalayas, a young boy named Lal Bahadur, the youngest of 3 brothers, an older brother to 3 spirited sisters. He was strong, gutsy, inquisitive, and full of mischief. His days began early, helping his parents. He would set out with his doko, wooden basket, strapped to his back, tasked with collecting water, cutting grass, and gathering food for the family's cows, buffaloes, and chickens. These were not small chores, but for a 9-year-old Lal Bahadur, he tackled them with competitive spark. Among his friends, he was always the first to fill up his doko, always the fastest up the steep trails, always the one who turned back work into a race. And once his daily duties were done, the mountains became his playground. He and the village boys and his siblings would sprint across the terrace fields, climb boulders, and invent games that tested their strength and daring. His middle brother Indra often organized wrestling matches for the boys, a rough and tumble spectacle that brought laughter, cheers from anyone passing by. I am told my dad, by all accounts, was the one who always came out winning. It was a simple life, but a rich one, shaped by family, hard work, and wild freedom of the mountains, a childhood that forged the man he would become. Around 1962, Lieutenant Colonel Alistair Langlands arrived in the village of Kilang to enjoy trekking and birdwatching holiday. The few children who happened to be around, spooked by seeing a white man for the first time, ran and hid behind their parents. Young Lal Bahadur, approximately 10, was curious and brave. He stepped forward and smiled at the new visitor. Once acquainted, my dad called Lieutenant Colonel Langlands Gorabaze, English granddad, and as did all the people in the village. Colonel Langlands stayed with my grandparents during this holiday. They mainly communicated with hand gestures as one couldn't speak English and the other couldn't speak the Gurung dialect. This holiday forged an unbreakable bond between my dad and Lengleng Baje, as Colonel Langlands was affectionately known by our family. During this holiday, Colonel Langlands was impressed by my dad's antics and hunger for wonderment for life. In the few years to come, he offered my dad the opportunity to study in Paklehawa. Then, With the kind help, support, and guardianship from Colonel Langlands, my dad got the opportunity to attend boarding school, and not any old boarding school, one of the best at the time, St. Xavier's Godwari Boarding School in Kathmandu. My dad used to retell the story of how, at the ripe old age of 13, he was learning his alphabet. A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, he used to tell us. He said the other boys at the boarding school looked really smart and were miles ahead of him. He felt embarrassed, but he was determined to learn and catch up to be just like them. He excelled in his studies and in sports, hockey, cricket, boxing, football, to name a few. It didn't take him long to join the ranks of the other boys he inspired to be, many of whom became lifelong friends, and Dad enjoyed the school reunions on his trips to Nepal. Once my dad completed his O-levels, he told Colonel Langlands that he wanted to join the army. With Colonel Langlands' blessing and unwavering support, he joined the British Brigade of Gurkhas in 1970. Armed with his strong academic foundation, natural leadership, integrity, and professionalism, he rose quickly through the ranks to become a major GCO. He served with honor and pride throughout his career. His journey from humble beginnings to a distinguished officer was something beyond his wildest dreams. Dad was a natural-born leader. He didn't demand respect, he earned it effortlessly. And we can see this as many of his friends, family, and comrades are here with us today to remember the officer and the gentleman that he is. My dad balanced cultural expectations with modern thinking in a way that was rare for someone of his generation. He showed us that you can respect where you come from while still growing, adapting, and moving forward with modern times. In 1977, one-to-one dating was virtually unheard of. Young people didn't meet privately, and marriages were almost always arranged by families. He had heard wonderful things about my mum through friends, and he felt drawn to her long before they ever met. So he quietly orchestrated a way to meet her on his next trip to Nepal. At the time, my mum was working as a nurse in a hospital in Kathmandu. Dad asked a family friend of mum's to visit the hospital with him and create an opportunity for him and my mum to meet. It was a bold move, especially in that era. He wasn't afraid to step outside the societal expectation, and it was completely in character for him. They dated for 3 months before they got married. Dad used to joke that it was a very expensive 3 months for him. As back in those days, if you courted a girl, they always came along with 2 or 3 friends, chaperones, and you had to pay for them all. So he joked that he got married quickly to avoid the expensive dating game. My parents' marriage was a partnership built on love, respect, and humor. They completed each other, and it was effortless. Dad often said he was forever grateful for Mum for being such a devoted wife and giving him the stability, confidence, and encouragement he needed to reach the pinnacle of his career. My dad was not a DIY man. In fact, I have never seen him put up a picture frame on a wall. Once, Dad asked his neighbor to ask him fix his fish pond filter. Mark asked Dad for a particular tool. Dad replied with, "Oh wait, let me go and find Dilmaya's toolbox." His cooking skills were limited to making tea, although he did make the best tea, and he never tired of making a cuppa for Mum, who drank gallons of tea a day. I surely will miss sitting with him, enjoying a natta and drinking his perfectly crafted tea. Dad was very supportive of my mum's love of shopping. He loved driving, and he never got tired of chauffeuring her from one shop to another. He would sit in the car with his newspaper and his Economist, completely absorbed, losing track of time. It was a simple routine, but it was theirs, and it spoke volumes about the love and patience he carried in his heart. Dad had a unique, infectious laugh, which filled the room. Most of the time, he laughed at his own jokes, and we laughed at him for laughing at himself. As a father to us 3 daughters, he showered us with love, not through grand gestures and flowery words, but through quiet and steady support. He belonged to a generation of stoic men who didn't always express affection openly, yet his love was unmistakable and always felt deeply loved. He encouraged us to learn from what he called the university of life, believing that life was an organic learning process and to be enjoyed to the fullest. And of course, his army training never failed to follow him into his family life. When we were little and we fell over, it was a quick quip. You're not bleeding, off you go. This helped us build resilience. It was bad enough that he polished our school shoes until we could see our faces on it. Our friends who came for a sleepover also left the house with shiny shoes that a squadron leader would be highly impressed. An army instilled in him to mark and label all his personal military kit and issued equipment. Absence leaves a huge space in our heart that cannot ever be filled. However, your legacy, your values, and your love, and your infectious laugh will stay with us always. We will carry you in the choices we make and in the lives we lead. Baba, thank you for everything you gave us. You fought a courageous battle until the end, and now we wish you a peaceful, forever sleep. We love you very much, and you will be missed beyond measure. Thank you.
कि तपाईहरुले यसरी के राखेछ बुझ्नु भएको होला। यो माटो तपाईहरुले जब आउँछ यो माटो र फूल लिएर वहाँ चढाउनु हाल्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। यो माटोको विशेषता भन्नुपर्दा यो मेरो गाउँ खिलाङ गाउँबाट हाम्रो सिमी भूमि हाम्रो थनको भन्छ उहाँलाई, वहाँबाट हामीले ल्याएको माटो हो। जस कारण गर्दा सबले यो माटो यति अलि लिएर यहाँ चढाइदिनु होला। लास्टमा त्यो बाल्टीबाट हामीले पुरो माटो हाम्रो ज्वाइँले वहाँ हाल्नु हुनेछ। यसको जानकारी हजुरलाई म दिन चाहे। गीत ल्याइको बारेमा सबैभन्दा पहिला हामी फ्यामिली मेम्बरबाट अगाडि आएर तपाईहरुका आमा हरुको नाम लिन गइरहेको छु। खिलाङ समाज युके रेडी भइदिनु होला। खिलाङ समाज युके सिमोर राइफल्स तमजी युके यो देखि रोक्नु होला। पहिला भाइ खलाङले गर्नु भएको छ यहाँ छ। सिमर साथी जी भन्दैछु त तमजी युके सिमर साथी तमु बेलुसङ लाइन से तमु बेलुसङ तमु समाज युके 4 भन्छन् तमु समाज युके तमु गुरुङ कल्चर नाम लिएको पार्टीहरु मात्रै आउनुस् है। अलि यहाँ भिड भइरहेको छ। युके रिकबाट आउनुस्। बुद्धिस्ट गुम्बाहरू माटो चाहिँ बाल्टीमा हाल्नुहोस् है तपाईँहरूले या बुद्धिस्ट गुम्बाहरू तपाईँहरू यो सकेपछि यहाँ चोखाउन जानुहोस् है। यहाँ चोखाउन सकेर तपाईँहरू सिधै इम्पायर हलमा गइदिनु होला प्लिज। लेबर भाइखाना इन्टेक 70 नम्बरी हाम्रो ए टिम intake 2 and 72 intake public 72 no first second year yeah first second year Nepal Cup यो रित मात्रै आउनुहोस् है। अहिले भेगा चेलीबाट आउनुहोस्। बिजिएलएसए सिएनजिए यो फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड इयर सहारा युके सिग्नेस पार्टी समाज युके Watching my videos, please. I'm not providing to tell you all. Ram Bazar Society. Gorkat Jilla Samaj. Women Society can do it. सहारा युके probably our high school संगठन probably our high school परिवार सिग्ने धर्म हार्दिक पनि परिवार कतिजना हाल्नुहोस् है नेपाल तामथिङ समाज र फेरि तपाईँहरूले म जानकारी दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो कार्डको प्रेजेन्टेसन पनि हुन्छ। धन्यवाद। यो माटो चाहिँ उता बाल्टिनमा हालिदिनु होला। म फेरि भन्दैछु फुल्डा माटो बाल्टीमा तपाईँहरू के छ हामीले माथि राखेर तपाईँहरू के छैन होला
यो ग्रुपमा तल बस्नु पर्यो उल्टो भयो यहाँ त